It's time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout shortcast on the outandaboutwithjamiegrout.com website. And with me today is Terry Salas and Kim Zanting, who are counselors with Integrated Treatment Services in Newton. And I wanted to talk to them because mental health is such an important topic, and I don't think it's addressed as often as enough as it should be. And so, Terry, I want to kick this off by asking you why mental health is as important as exercise.
Mental health is one of the most important aspects of an individual's life. Without good, solid mental health, a person's ability to function and interact with the larger society is certainly going to be truncated to the extent that people start to isolate themselves. You got a lot of social anxiety going on. You got a lot of grief and loss and a lot of these other things going on. But mental health, when you look at the term mental health, it has a broad meaning. It just doesn't mean one thing specifically. Like, for instance, we address a myriad of mental health issues, and Kim can get more into that with you, but it's the most important aspect of an individual's life.
All right. Kim, why don't you expound on that a little bit and what kind of issues that you address in terms of mental health?
So what we address depends on the client that comes through the door. A lot of times they will have a relationship issue, or they will have depression, or just struggling with kids, or whatever makes them upset or unable to sleep. They don't have to have it defined as anxiety, depression, whatever. We can do that. But usually it's just somebody that comes into the office and has a problem that they want to talk to somebody about. I just talked to a mom the other day, and she said that her son, who had been seeing Terry, wanted to set up an appointment because he just wanted somebody to talk to. And that's just amazing. That's great, because that means that young man has discovered that he needs to talk to somebody about some things that are going on in his life. That's called mental health. So you're not crazy if you need a therapist. It just means you need somebody to talk to, somebody that can help you process what's going on with you, but also maybe give you some suggestions. We focus mostly on a client's strengths. That's why we do the mental health evaluation. Part of that is, what are your strengths? Because those are the things that we're going to help you identify to address your mental health.
Is there a demographic specifically that you see more of than others? Are younger people affected more? Are minorities affected more? Maybe, Terry, you could address that.
Everybody's affected by mental health. There's comorbidity with mental health and anything that's going on with the person's life. For instance, we also treat substance abuse, and like I've spoken to you about earlier, when a person stops drinking or stops using drugs, there's some real grief and loss issues that go on with that, and they have to address that at the same level that they address when their girlfriend leaves them or their husband divorces them for another woman. Grief and loss is a huge issue with that. But as far as the demographic goes, it affects everybody. We're starting to get more high school students in here now because mental health had such a negative, it was stigmatized. People said, you need mental health, you're crazy.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you're crazy.
No. And how do people get over that stigma anyway? That's just a ridiculous stigma in my eyes.
It is.
I think one of the biggest things that happens at our office quite often is you go through the mental health eval, and they're shaking and have so much anxiety. And then you get done and they're like, that's it? That's all? I'm like, yeah, what did you expect? Oh, I thought it would be a lot worse than that. And I'm like, no, it does not have to be a very stressful thing. Yes, we are going to talk about things that have been stressful to you in the past, because that's part of our baseline. But after the first session, we don't talk about those things. We talk about in reference to those things and how those things have affected your mental health. But a client determines what we're going to talk about. in our offices.
All right. Well, as I mentioned on the podcast, I'd like to talk to both of you maybe next month sometime because I could talk about this all day long. I really
We could too.
Oh, that's good. That's good because I think it needs to be discussed more often, and we'll try to bring that out. If people want to contact Integrated Treatment Services, I don't know which one of you wants to take this or not. You could tell the viewers how they can reach you folks and maybe set up an appointment or get more information.
Yes. You can call us at the office, 641-792-0045, or you can reach us by email, Terry, Terry, at itsnewton, itsnewton.com, or Kimberly, Kimberly, at itsnewton.com.
All right. Thanks for talking with us. Our Out and About with Jamie Grout shortcast has been with Terry Salas and Kim Zenting. Join us on the full podcast on Out and About with Jamie Grout.com and also on Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, and all kinds of other places. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again soon.